Hello everyone, my name is Brian Dave Gassop, and it's nice to see you in this video. For this video, we'll talk about derivatives and the different rules of derivatives. So first, what is derivatives? So derivatives are the result of performing a differentiation process upon a function or an expression. Meaning, it is a function or an expression in which processed or derived in order to get a result or called derivatives. So now, let's proceed to the different rules of derivatives. So, in order to do derivatives, you have to consider these rules: the constant rule, power rule, product rule, quotient rule, and the chain rule. These are the important processes in order to get an exact result. Okay, first, let's talk about constant rule. When we say constant rule, it says that the derivative with respect to x of k is equal to 0. So, the derivative with respect to x of any number where k is any number is equal to 0. So, let's take this for example. We have f of x is equal to 5. So, when we say f of x is equal to 5, let's do the derivative. F of x is equal to derivative with respect to x of 5, f prime of x is equal to the derivative of any number is equal to 0. So that's how derivatives works in constant rule. Okay, now let's proceed to the power rule. The power rule, we have here d with respect to x of x raised to n is equal to n times x raised to n minus 1. So, the derivative of x or a variable raised to a number, just simply multiply the power into the imaginary one here. Yes, imaginary one. So, n times 1 is equal to n, where the variable will remain and raised into the number minus 1. So, let's say for example, we have here f of x is equal to x raised to 50. So, in order to do the derivative, we have here f of x is equal to d with respect to x of x raised to 50 f prime of x is equal to, so 50 times the imaginary one here is equal to 50. Remain the variable x, then 50 minus 1. So we have here the result 50 minus 1 is equal to 49. So this is the derivative. So what if, let's say for example, the exponent will be negative. So the same process goes as f of x is equal to x raised to negative 50. So let's do the process. F of x is equal to d with respect to x of x raised to negative 50. F prime of x is equal to negative 50 times the imaginary one will be negative 50. Remain the variable raised to negative 50 minus 1 is equal to negative 50 x raised to negative 51. So it's just like in the positive exponent you just subtracted, and in the negative exponent you just added negative 1 to the exponent. So these are the differences. The product rule. The product rule, we have here an equation, derivative with respect to x of this is a two function. Let's consider f of x times g of x. So let's find the product of these two. Process will be the derivative of f of x. First, derivative f prime of x. F prime of x is just the same as derivative of f of x times g of x plus f of x times g prime of x. So this is how you do the operation in order to solve a product of two functions. Okay, let's say for example, we need to find the product of derivative with respect to x times 2x squared minus 3 times 5x squared. So, to do the operation, let's just find first f of x. F of x is equal to this one, 2x squared minus 3, where the f prime of x, or the derivative of that function, is equal to 2, the power, using the power rule, 2 times 2 is equal to 4. 4 remain x, so 2 minus 1 will become 1, so imaginary 1. So, when we say the derivative of 3 is equal to 0, so therefore, the derivative of 2x squared minus 3 is equal to 4x. So, next we have to find g of x. So, g of x is equal to 5x squared. So, to find the derivative of g of x, or 5x squared, we need to use the power rule, in which 2 times 5 is equal to 10, remain the variable, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So, we have here imaginary 1. So, let's do the process. It says there that first we need to put the f prime of x. So, f prime of x is equal to 4x. Multiply the g prime of x, or this one. So, 5x squared. Plus the f of x. So, f of x is 2x squared minus 3. 2x squared minus 3 times the g prime of x. The g prime of x is equal to 10x. So, 10x. Okay, to solve this one, we have to multiply 4x times 5x squared and plus 2x squared minus 3 times 10x. So, first, 4 times 5 is equal to 20. 20x, the exponent 1 plus 3 is equal to 3. So, 20x cubed plus 2x squared times 10x is equal to 20x cubed minus 3 times 10x is equal to 30x. So, let's combine like terms. So, we have here 20 plus 20x cubed is equal to 40x cubed minus 30x. So, this is now the derivative of these two functions, the product of these two functions. Okay, now let's proceed to the quotient rule. Quotient rule, we have here the derivative with respect to x of these two functions, f of x over g of x. So, to do the process of this one, it's like the product rule, the f prime of x, f prime of x, times the g prime of x, minus f of x. If the product rule is addition, then the quotient rule will be subtraction. So next, we have multiply this to g prime of x. So it is all over g of x squared. So, okay, that's how you solve quotient rule. Okay, let's take for example this work examples. Derivative of d of x, derivative respect to x of 3x squared minus 8 divided by 4x squared. So, to find the derivative of these two functions using quotient rule, we just first need to find the f of x. So, f of x is equal to 3x squared minus 8, and f prime of x, do the power rule, 3 times 2, 6x, 2 minus 1 is 1. So, using the constant rule, 8 will become 0. So, the derivative of 3x squared minus 8 is equal to 6x. Now, let's proceed to g of x. So, what is g of x here? We have 4x squared, and g prime of x is equal to, using the power rule, 4 times 2 is equal to 8. X, 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Okay. Now, let's do this operation. Okay. we have here f prime of x. So the f prime of x is 6x. 6x times g of x. So g of x is equal to 4x squared times 4x squared minus f of x, which is 3x squared minus 8. 3x squared minus 8 times g prime of x, 8x. Okay. All over g of x squared. So 4x squared squared. 4x squared squared. Okay, let's do the process. 6x times 4x squared is equal to 6 times 4 is equal to 24. 24x 2 plus 1 is equal to 3 minus 3x squared times 8x. So let's put this one. Okay, 3x squared times 8x is equal to 24. 24x cube minus 8 times 8x is equal to 64x. 64x all over, you have here 4 squared is equal to 16. 16x 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So 16x raised to 4. So next, combine like terms. So let's put it here, the continuation. Okay, we have here 24x cube minus 24x cube is equal to 0. Okay, 64x over 16x 4. Okay, this is the derivative of this two function here using the quotient rule. Okay, let's proceed now to the last rule, which is the chain rule. So the chain rule, we have here the formula: derivative with respect to x of g of f of x, this is a composite function, is equal to g prime of f of x multiplied to the inner function in which the f of x, or f prime of x, or the derivative of the inner function which is the f of x. Okay, let's do this word example. We have here derivative with respect to x of e raised to 2x minus 1. Okay, first let's find the inner and the outer function. We have here the inner function, the 2x minus 1, and the outer function we have here e raised to x. So let's find the inner function. We have here f of x is equal to, okay, as I said a while ago, it's 2x minus 1. And the derivative of this inner function, we have, doing the product rule, 1 times 2 is equal to 2. Exponent minus 1 is equal to 0. So any variable raised to 0 will be equal to 1. So 2 times 1 is just 2. So it says in the constant rule also that 1, any number is equal to 0. So now let's find the outer function. It is e raised to x, variable x. Okay, this 2x minus 1 will become a one variable, which is the x. Okay, the derivative of this outer function, this function e raised to x, if it's only function that derivative is just equal to itself, other than a 0, because 0 is just seldom to use. So the derivative of e raised to x is just e raised to x. Okay, now let's solve this one using this process. Okay, g prime of x. Okay, g prime of x is equal to e raised to x. So e raised to x. But it says there that the inner function is f of x. So the inner function we have here 2x minus 1, or f of x 2x minus 1. Okay, 2x minus 1. We have here this one multiplied by f prime of x. So we have here f prime of x, the derivative of the inner function is equal to 2. So we have here 2. Now to multiply this 2, we have this answer 2e raised to 2x minus 1. And this is the derivative of this function using the chain rule. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something in this video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good day.